What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of News. In today's episode, we've got some stories to talk about. Okay, people, so for starters, very huge stuff to talk about with Chainsaw Man. Apparently, the author of Chainsaw Man, Tatsuki Fujimoto, sat down with Anime News Network to do an interview, and yeah, some very interesting things were said, so we're definitely going to take a look at that because, I mean, for starters, yeah, I know I love Chainsaw Man, but also, it is absolute greatness. We got some big ups for the creator of Fairy Tail. Lately, he's been taking a lot of wins, but yeah, very big news for something that he's involved in, that he's doing right now, that you're gonna be like, oh snap, like, yo, Hitomashima making big moves. We got an update for the creators of The Promised Neverland and what they're up to next, and we also have more info on the legendary One Piece popularity poll. We'll be getting into it. Got a small update for an interesting new take that Shonen Jump is doing in the digital space regarding a series that they're launching, and yeah, we're gonna talk. We got some small teasers for the upcoming chapter of the Boruto manga. Really excited to talk about that. Little small update for the upcoming issue of Jump Giga and the fascinating cover that it has. Some Shonen Jump acrylic. Yeah, I had to bring it to you guys' attention because I was kind of like, what is Shonen Jump doing now? A bunch of author comments from the creator of Fairy Tail, Fire Force, some interesting stuff to take a look at. We got a brand new My Hero Academia mobile game that we're going to be talking about that, yo, I'm not even going to front, like straight up and down, it looks really good, and I'm shocked that this is mobile and it's coming over here. Like, yeah, we're gonna get into it. Initial D, we got a small update for Initial D, and I don't think I've ever talked about Initial D on here, but yeah, we got an update for the manga, or in particular the success, shall I say, of the series. So yeah, we got a hefty amount of news. Without further ado, people, let's jump into another exciting episode of the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. And we don't bore you, we get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
Okay, people, so first up on the docket, Tatsuki Fujimoto, the author of Chainsaw Man, sat down for an interview, and yeah, I was so fascinated just to even click on it alone because Tatsuki Fujimoto, very unorthodox, you know, author for Shonen Jump, and he gave a lot of insight into the future of the series, some goofs and gags, and apparently him wanting Chainsaw Man to cross over with the Avengers. Let's read. Tatsuki Fujimoto's Chainsaw Man shocked and delighted audiences with its stylish aesthetic and storytelling. With the conclusion of the manga's first part, we interviewed Fujimoto about the creation of the manga, as well as his thoughts on the upcoming anime. They asked how much of the series and story was planned from the beginning. Fans have found a lot of subtle clues in the early chapters that connected to the very last chapter of part 1. For example, Makima recognizing people by their scent. He said, there are things that I thought of from the start, as well as things that I added later. When I was creating Chainsaw Man, I didn't have specific plans to bring payoff to the meaningful sounding words and things that felt quote-unquote off. There are more things that I've left vague in order to make the second part easier to do. Because of that, there are tons of things that I wasn't able to pick up. And yeah, that's the mistake that a lot of readers, especially people that, you know, don't dig deep, that don't understand, they think that authors like have everything planned out. A lot of times that is a very commonly used method of leaving things vague. Like, for example, let's just say I'm writing a manga, right? Chapter 1, page 15, there's a loud sound that goes off when the criminals break into the facility, and it's not addressed, and people are like, but what was that sound? And then 10 chapters later, you find out that there's been this bird that's been following them along. That's the vagueness. Like, yeah, that sound, the author might have not even known what that sound was when he wrote that part, but eventually he uses that as a springboard for new ideas. So I understand that. Because of its violence and dark humor, Chainsaw Man is often described as quote-unquote not Jump-like Jump manga. How did you initially pitch the series to Jump? I always wanted to serialize in Jump, so I had the feeling that if I drew a serialization there was the risk that my work would get buried if I made a quote-unquote Jump-like manga. Because of that, I tried to retain much of my individuality as a creator while making only the structure and characters Jump-like, which shout outs to Fujimoto. Yeah, I just gotta keep on, I don't know, I'm a big fan. Similarly, the structure and release of the series is pretty different from other Jump series, which usually are meant to publish for years on end. While part 2 has been announced to run in Jump Plus, it's still unusual to see such a successful series end its run in the magazine after just 2 years. What led to that decision? It might be the case that I want you to see the upcoming Chainsaw Man part 2 as a completely different thing from part 1. Okay, that's interesting, worrisome but interesting, but I trust Fujimoto, so okay. He made numerous mentions depictions of other manga and the author comments in the magazine. Were there any other manga that inspired your approach to Chainsaw Man? There are just so many works that I took inspiration from that I wouldn't be able to write them all down here. When I was serializing, I was excruciatingly busy, but I made sure to watch as many new things as I could, and I also have memories of borrowing quite heavily from the things that I saw. Your previous work, Fire Punch, ran in Jump Plus for 2 years. Is there any big difference in working on your manga between the web magazine and in the paper magazine like Weekly Shonen Jump? There wasn't much of a difference. There were a few depictions that got stopped during the rough draft stage, but I was allowed to do anything I wanted when it came to the logic of the story. I don't think that there is much difference between Jump and Jump Plus. I think that he is totally BSing there. There's a big difference between Jump Plus, where you could do all sorts of crazy shit, and Shonen Jump, that, you know, their weekly magazine that little kids be reading. So I don't know, I think he was just fronting there, putting on a face. How do you feel about the recently announced anime? What aspects of the art and story are you looking forward to seeing in animation? What parts do you think would be difficult or challenging to animate? I talked to the people handling the anime. I felt that there were people that I could feel comfortable leaving things to, so I don't have any worries whatsoever. I love anime, but I don't have any experience in making it, so I'm leaving it all up to them. Do you have a message for your overseas audience? This one was hilarious. Put Chainsaw Man in Avengers, like in an R18 category. Fam, I love Tatsuki Fujimoto. I don't know who this man is. I mean, hey, he's Tatsuki Fujimoto, I guess, right? But this dude is hilarious. A couple of things in here, I kind of felt like he was just saying it to save face. Like, yeah, there's a big difference between Jump Plus and Jump. We know that based on the works we've read from there. But for the most part, yeah, put Chainsaw Man in the Avengers, fam. And I can't freaking wait for that part 2. Although, again, him saying that he wants you to think of it as something totally different makes me a little bit skeptical. Like, don't go off the rails, Fujimoto senpai, okay? I know that was a hefty one, but we are now moving forward, because the creator of Fairy Tail and Eden Zero, Hiromashima, is set to design a new RPG game, Gate of Nightmares. Hiromashima, the acclaimed author behind hit manga such as Raid Master, Fairy Tail, and most recently Eden Zero, is now expanding into RPG game development. According to the press release, he will be handling the character designs and world creation of an upcoming mobile RPG game from Square Enix titled Gate of Nightmares for the iOS and Android. And based on the art that I see right here, it looks very Fairy Tail-ish, but like an actual, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, like more like Dungeons and Dragons type of deal. It's Hiromashima, so I'm sure it's going to be very interesting because he loves RPGs himself. It's probably going to be something to look into, just being honest. And above all else, shout outs to Hiromashima. Don't forget, he's still working on Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. His main manga is Eden Zero. I'm not sure if he's still doing the Monster Hunter thing or not, but he always talks about gaming. He does constant art on Twitter just for the fans. And now he's doing this. This man and his team are supreme. Put some respect on Hiromashima's name. And I bet that bag is hefty. I ain't gonna lie. I bet that bag, if he's working with Square Enix doing like game design and shit like that, the bag is mighty fun, I'd imagine. And shout outs to Hiromashima. I can't even believe what he be doing sometimes. Very inspirational. Makes me want to work 10 times harder with everything I bring to you guys. Moving forward, the creators of The Promised Neverland, now that the series has wrapped up, I want to say it's been about a year now, they're up to something new. Because apparently Kaiju Shirai and Posca Demizu, mangaka of The Promised Neverland, will publish their one-shot Mirrors at Shonen Jump Plus's app on April 26th. Also, a C Extra edition will be published in Shonen Jump Plus app on April 30th. And usually when they do one-shots, it's to test the waters, to see if fans gravitate to it, if it garners any interest, and if so, then they'll probably get a full-on serialization. So this Mirrors, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Mirrors, I don't know, but either way, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe especially with them going to Jump Plus, it'll be different, because I'd imagine the pressure in Shonen Jump Plus is very different than the pressure in Weekly Shonen Jump. Weekly Shonen Jump, they want Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. They want, you know, something of an animal that is just really hard to capture. So when things start slipping, the anime doesn't perform as much as they want it, they'll rush things out. The Promised Neverland probably would have been way better writing-wise all the way through had it not been rushed and had they not start skipping things. And then let's not even talk about the non-existent at this point season 2 of the anime. But I don't want to completely write off Kaiju Shirai and Posca Demizu. Like, they did some great work. Promised Neverland season 1 was great. There's a lot of stuff on the manga that I absolutely love. Maybe this could be something good. We gotta wait and see. Hopefully they didn't ruin their name completely with season 2 of the anime and the way people felt about the manga and stuff. Next up, we got an update on the One Piece worldwide popularity poll, and I'll be honest with you, they are really stretching this shit out like a Vlad TV interview, because One Piece Ace's worldwide popularity poll results will be distributed and revealed this way. From 200 to 151, it'll be on Weekly Shonen Jump Magazine issue number 21/22. From 150 to 101, it'll be on Twitter. From 100 to 21 on YouTube May 5th, and 20 to 1 on YouTube May 5th later on that day, basically in the nighttime. And yeah, it feels like they're stretching the living shit out of this. I mean, they already released the results of places 151 to 200, and it's so weird. Like, yo, Ace's mom is at number 200, like, but then again, this is, you know, hundreds of characters. Jaguar D. Saw, Thatch, like, holy shit, people really voted on a lot of these characters. That's crazy. But yeah, that's going to be the order of the results of the One Piece popularity poll. Honestly, unless something major happens, the next time I'm going to report on this is just to say, here's the official top 20. Let's call it a day. Let's move on, because they have milked this popularity poll dry. And don't get me wrong, I love One Piece, but come on, fam, this could have been released as 2 pages in the latest issue of Shonen Jump and called it a day. Like, it didn't need all of this. I get it, 1,000th chapter, all of that jazz, but come on, son. Go on. Okay, people, next up, it seems as though Shonen Jump is taking a lot of measures to really secure the digital space, because apparently they're doing now some digital exclusive serializations. According to this, it says Weekly Shonen Jump will start a new digital exclusive serialization on issue number 20 titled Makoto no Goto by Norohiro Norimura, which, again, I am unfamiliar with the author. I'm unfamiliar with the title of this. I don't know if it had a one-shot prior to this, but it's just interesting to note that they'll be doing a new digital exclusive serialization, and they're going that route. So there could be, honestly, different versions of the magazine moving forward. Like, there could be a lot of series that are going to be running in Shonen Jump technically, but not in Shonen Jump, which it's kind of strange, because I thought that was the whole point of Shonen Jump Plus to begin with. Like, okay, Jump Plus is going to be the digital version, Weekly Shonen Jump Magazine is going to be the physical / having its own digital as well, but it seems as though there's going to be an exclusive Jump, but that could also be because they want to push maybe the app over there, like Shonen Jump app over there. Hey, you get the app, there's going to be series that you can't read in the physical magazine. But then again, what does that say to Jump Plus? I don't know, maybe Jump Plus is just going to be marketed more as like adult, more mature manga. We gotta wait and see, but either way, it was interesting to note that they're going this direction. Like, they're pushing heavy for the digital. Moving forward, we got a small teaser for the upcoming Boruto chapter of the manga. Now, you could take it as a spoiler. If you want to skip over this, of course you can, but according to this, Abdul Zoldak, it says Boruto chapter 58 preview text: the new threats that joined forces, a glimpse into Boruto and Kawaki facing their Otsutsuki. So I'm imagining that in this upcoming chapter, we're gonna get, first of all, because 57 didn't really have Boruto or Kawaki in the actual chapter, this one might actually go into like Boruto once again speaking with Momoshiki. Maybe Momoshiki's gonna try and have a conversation with him. But then the fact that it says a glimpse into Boruto and Kawaki facing their Otsutsuki, we know that Kawaki has Otsutsuki DNA, but does that mean that it's going to showcase that Ishiki is still kind of lingering in there some way or somehow, which would also mean, of course, that he wasn't defeated. But that is an interesting thing to note about them facing their Otsutsuki. Again, we know about the DNA in Kawaki, but it's supposed to be that he's kind of free of being, you know, turned into an Otsutsuki. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because again, the latest chapter didn't have much of that, and I'm always interested in what's going on with Karma and, you know, the infection that's taking over them, or at the very least Boruto, because again, Kawaki's supposed to be in the clear. I don't know. That's definitely an interesting blurb, to say the least. Okay, next up, just a small glimpse at Jump Giga 2021's cover. I had to show it. Y'all know I love great art, and fam, this cover with Todoroki on it, woo! I mean, it got Jujutsu Kaisen on the corner too, I'm just saying, but fam, Todoroki even looks a little older in this one. I wonder, right? Now, I highly doubt they would showcase something like that on a magazine cover, but yeah, this shit looks absolute fuego, and you know it. If you're looking at this right now, you're like, Nev, I get it, it's just a cover, but I get why you showed it. It looks freaking sick. And now, apparently, Weekly Shonen Jump is going to be doing some sort of purchasable acrylics. It says Weekly Shonen Jump will make purchasable acrylics of different main characters cosplaying fairy tales in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 21/22. Acrylics will be divided into 2 sets. And apparently, like, set 1, you could have Monkey D. Luffy as Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. So this seems like it's going to be like a Disney crossover, because then it's Izuku as Ishun Buishi. I have no idea who a lot of these characters are, but here's the list for your convenience. And either way, Weekly Shonen Jump diving into the acrylic market. I thought I saw it all, and then here we are. And here we got a few different author comments from Weekly Shonen magazine. Not Shonen Jump, Shonen. So for starters, it's Hiro Mashima from Eden Zero. He said, next week something surprising and incredible will be revealed. Stay tuned for the super awesome news. I'm wondering, maybe he was referring to the news of him doing the game, or maybe there's something more, because they did say initially that it was going to be something to do with Fairy Tail X Eden Zero, so maybe they'll be involved in that game we talked about. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to that. Then I wanted to report on this. Ken Wakui, the author of Tokyo Revengers, very hyped stuff, says the anime's premiere was great. I'm in awe of the production team's attention to detail and hard work, and it has been amazing. And Atsushi Okubo, the authors of Fire Force, said, I've been trying to play Dragon Quest Walk for the longest, but it's a poor choice of game for a shut-in manga artist. Well, damn. And as a bonus, let me throw in the recent author comments from Kohei Horikoshi from My Hero. He said, I had a dream where I was playing with a cat and I was so happy, but when I woke up I realized I had overslept by 3 hours and was overcome with dread. Yeah, that's anxiety, fam. My Hero Academia is definitely giving him anxiety, which I have no doubt in my mind. Probably every author in Shonen Jump has anxiety from having these crazy deadlines and schedules. And Yuki Tabata from Black Clover apparently had to say goodbye to a couple of staff members. He said, I had 2 staff members leave at around the same time. I'm feeling a bit sentimental, but I gotta keep working hard. That could be why Black Clover lately has been like really fast-paced chapters of just a lot of big double spread art. Maybe he lost some crew members and he's trying to recruit new people to work on the story. And Giga Akutami, the author of Jujutsu Kaisen, said, spoiler by the way in case you don't know, maybe nobody noticed, but in the previous chapter I drew Maki's right eye normally. So yeah, a little error in Jujutsu Kaisen for you. Nothing too major there, but yeah, just wanted to share a bunch of interesting things that I found to be exciting to read. Also, a small update for Initial D. Apparently Initial D, the series by Shuichi Shigeno, has 55 million copies in circulation. I didn't realize, like, I knew Initial D was big. I didn't realize it was 55 million copies big. Major props to Initial D. I think it's been over for a long time now, but shout outs to it. I never got into it, but there's always another day to watch it. You know, I want to check that anime out. I've heard great things. Next up, something that I'm looking forward to. Apparently, new My Hero Academia mobile game coming from Sony and Funimation. This summer, a new My Hero Academia game is set to hit iOS and Android mobile devices titled My Hero Academia The Strongest Hero. The game will be released in North America, Latin America, the United Kingdom, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and Scandinavia. Bringing with it will be a story mode where you'll be able to fight villains you love from the popular anime. Also, there will be a PvP mode as well as co-op. The game will release new content every month, and it already has pre-registration. And from the trailer and from everything I've seen, this looks like this is going to be way more than what you would expect from a mobile game. Like, this isn't going to be like the typical, you know, Dokkan battle or anything like that. This looks hype, and I am 100% going to at least give it a try. Like, I'm not going to say, hey, I'm going to be dedicated to it, because to this day, still really the only mobile game that I've ever been long-term with has been Bleach Brave Souls. Like, I always say that, but it's the truth. Maybe this could take its place. I don't know, because like I'm caught up on all the quests and everything on Bleach. But yo, this looks, from the trailer, looks hype. I'm looking forward to this, because aside from One's Justice, there's not really much My Hero games. You would expect a lot more all these years of story being out and shit like that, but yeah, this could be hype. And yeah, people, those are the stories we have for today's episode. I'm curious what you guys think. Chainsaw Man author interview, Fairy Tail creator's new game that he's working on, the Promised Neverland creator's new work, One Piece popularity poll with all these insane release schedules, the new digital exclusive Jump series and Jump going into that direction, Boruto chapter 58 teaser, Jump Giga 2021 cover with Todoroki, Acrylics, Shonen Jump's acrylic release, what the hell, the author comments from Shonen Magazine as well as Shonen Jump, My Hero Academia's new mobile game, Initial D's sales and success, and your thoughts on any of the stories we covered in today's episode. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another episode of Whatever News. Have an awesome day.
To find